Welcome to this week's episode of the Baseball Together podcast. Today we have Hall of Fame inductions. Trout is coming back, and we're going to draft Team USA right now.
9 Plus Us presents the Baseball Together podcast with your hosts, Blackjack Brad and Kansas City Little Big Briggy Blue Eyes. And now, Baseball Together.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Baseball Together podcast, Baseball family. I am Brad, and I'm going to be flying solo this week. Brig will be in the main segment of this episode because we previously recorded that segment where we drafted Team USA, assuming that baseball is in the Olympics, and with baseball in the Olympics, big leaguers are allowed to play. We know that's not the case, but we went ahead and did it anyway, so you'll see Brig later on. But for now, it's just me because he is traveling with his family this week. So he'll be back on Thursday with the live. But a couple of housekeeping things for you. We have a merch store again. It's hosted through millions.co. You can head there and search Baseball Together to get to the shop. We have a couple of shirts, some stickers, or you can always hit the link in the description. It'll take you straight there. We have some more stuff that we're going to be dropping periodically. We initiated a new design today. We requested one today. So we're hoping that it gets done pretty soon and we can put it up there for you so you can see it. And we're very excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So again, that's millions.co, or just hit the link in the description. That'll get you there. The other thing we have is we're doing a giveaway. We're giving away a book. Stay tuned to the end of the episode to find out what it is and how to do it, or you can just head over to Instagram to find out, because I'm sure that post is live, and that's where the giveaway is going to be done. So we're very excited about it. It's a book that I don't think we've had a book yet that we didn't like, right? So to say that it was one that we liked, it could be any of them. But anyway, go check it out on Instagram and enter the giveaway for the book. All right, first things first, let's get into the Hall of Fame induction. The Hall of Fame induction ceremony took place on Sunday. In case you missed it, Adrian Beltre, Joe Mauer, Todd Helton, and Jim Leland were all inducted into the Hall of Fame. Very good, very exciting. There were a couple of funny things that did happen, right? As always, as you would expect. It's like a bunch of guys who grew up, or I guess, I don't know. It's almost like they didn't ever grow up because they got to play a kids game for so long. And then they all get together and it's like shenanigans, right? Of course. But somebody's going to touch Adrian Beltre's head because he hates it. It was David Ortiz, because of course it was. Felix Hernandez was not up on the stage with them. So he wasn't the guy who could do it. So it was Big Papi. Another funny thing I saw was Joe Mauer's plaque. It had his full name, Joseph Patrick Mauer, on it. And then underneath, they'll usually put their nicknames in parentheses underneath, and it just said Joe was listed as his nickname, which I'm like, okay, I guess like you're not wrong, but I don't know that I was like, I don't know that's his nickname. So I went to Baseball Reference and there was no nickname listed. So I guess it is Joe. But anyway, I thought that was kind of a funny thing. Other than that, it was a typical induction ceremony. It's fun if you're into it. If you look forward to the Hall of Fame induction every year and you like to listen to the speeches, that's great. Or if you have a guy there, right? Like as a Mariners fan, I loved seeing Adrian Beltre inducted into the Hall of Fame. I actually had somebody ask me the other day, how do Mariners fans feel about Adrian Beltre? And I was like, personally, everybody on that team stunk. I don't care that he stunk the year or so that he was in Seattle. Everybody stunk but Felix Hernandez, right? Like, it is what it is. He went on and he had great success other places. Good for him. He is a first team all personality guy. I like to say first team all good dudes. He is a first team all good dudes guy. Everybody loves him in the league. So how can you not? Right. So I'm happy that he's in the Hall of Fame. I'm glad that Joe Mauer made it. I always liked Joe Mauer. I've been calling for Todd Helton for years, and I'm surprised it took this long for Jim Leland to get in. So good for them. Next year's ballot, the ballot for next year's class was released a while ago. We actually talked about it then. I will put a link up to the top there. You can get to it quickly if you'd like to. I know that some people have been watching it already, so you can go check that out if you're curious about next year's class. Mike Trout's coming back. This is exciting for those of us who like to watch Mike Trout, right? Like it's a bummer when it seems like it's every year when he gets hurt, it's a bummer and he misses significant time. He got injured on April 29th, had surgery on his knee May 3rd. He's starting his rehab assignment Tuesday night in AAA Salt Lake. I'm excited for him. So for those of you who don't know, he'll probably only be there for a few days. Is typically how long it goes with the big leaguers. Some guys don't even do them. I remember hearing a story that Ken Griffey Jr., when he broke his wrist in '95, he got to Tacoma, was like, I'm not doing this, hopped on a plane and headed out with the big club. Trout, I think, will probably spend a couple days in Salt Lake, especially since they're advertising it. I think they might be like, please stay for like 3 games. But they could spend up to 20 days. I don't think he'll be there for more than like 3 or 4 tops. I mean, just get your timing back a little bit. He was taking BP in Tempe just like yesterday. So he'll be fine. He'll get back. And the Angels might be set to play a little bit of spoiler, getting him back on the roster. Robbie Ray is set to make his season debut on Wednesday with the Giants. This is not just a season debut with the Giants. This is his debut. He got traded to the Giants from the Mariners during the offseason. He had to have Tommy John surgery last year after his one start in the season. And then so far this year, he's made 10 rehab appearances across different levels of the minor leagues. Just last Friday, he played for AAA Sacramento, and he struck out 7 and allowed just 1 hit in 5 1/3. So it seems like Robbie Ray is ready. I mean, keep in mind, he is a former Cy Young winner. So it's not like he's just some rando coming in for the Giants, right? Like, this dude can pitch. He can pitch. He was really great for the Mariners that one year that he was healthy. Like, he can play. So I don't think he's washed. I mean, for a while he was the big league leader for, like, it was either strikeout to walk ratio, or K. I think it was Ks per 9. He was the all-time leader for a little while. So check it out, Giants fans. You're getting a good pitcher back. Maybe it'll help make somewhat of a run here in the final 2.5 months of the season. Can you believe that's all that's left? Crazy. Had some injuries over the weekend, some pretty significant ones, especially with the Braves, who were already so depleted. I'm pouring you one out for you tonight, Braves fans, because holy cow, I feel you. Brutal. Ozzy Albies is going to be out 8 weeks with a fractured wrist. Puts him coming back to the team September 16th, with like 2 weeks left in the season. He was trying to make a play on a runner stealing second and caught his glove on the guy's shoulder and it fractured his wrist. So that is a bummer, big time loss for the Braves. Just another guy that they're losing because, here's another one. Max Fried is headed to the IL. 15-day IL to start with left forearm neuritis. So he's lefty, right? The report didn't say if it was ulnar or radial neuritis. There's a difference. It feels like this is going to be extended. This isn't going to be 2 weeks and he comes back. This could be a big problem for the Braves. So I would expect them to be very active over the next week and a half, 2 weeks, before the trade deadline, because they got some holes to fill if they're gonna contend in the National League. And I was thinking about this too. Like, at what point are you like, we just have so many guys hurt? Like, is it worth making the trades? Like, they brought back Eddie Rosario. He was one of the key pieces that came in and helped them win the World Series. The other one was Jorge Soler. Don't forget, right? Acuna goes down. They lose their entire outfield. They go make some moves, and then they win the World Series with a bunch of fill-ins. I don't know that they can make lightning strike twice, right? But it'll be interesting to see if they try going into the break. Some more injuries. We had Twins Carlos Correa. He's headed to the IL with plantar fasciitis in his right foot. This sucks big time. Anybody who's ever had plantar fasciitis to any degree in your feet, it sucks. It hurts to walk. I actually knew a runner when I was in college. He's a distance runner whose career basically ended because of plantar fasciitis. They just couldn't figure it out. I talked to the trainer and he's like, we did everything we knew how. We did everything. And we couldn't figure it out. So I hope it doesn't linger, right? Like, Carlos Correa playing for the Twins. The Twins are a team that are going to be contending for the wild card of the Central, and could potentially push the Mariners out of the playoffs. But I just like good baseball, is what it comes down to. That's how I've gotten to be as a Mariners fan. You just have to be like, I just like to watch good baseball. So That's a big time bummer. Since Correa left the Astros, actually, I've got to be a pretty big fan of watching that guy. Another Twins injury. Chris Paddock is headed to the IL with a right forearm strain. This could be trouble. We're going to keep an eye on that, see how things go, because that's one of the first things first signs toward Tommy John. So that's not good. Speaking of the Mariners, though, I mentioned the Mariners just a minute ago. My Mariners, Julio Rodriguez, is day to day after spraining his ankle, crashing into the wall. This would have been the catch of the year. Let's look at this, because this would have been an absolutely fantastic catch. I wish he'd held on, but unfortunately he didn't. So Yordan Alvarez is at the plate here, and he smokes this ball to left center field. Julio's going back. That's more center field. Smashes into the wall and then immediately comes down, and he grabs his ankle. And it's like, oh my gosh. I got texts from like 4 people. It's like, I think Julio just ruptured his Achilles. That was the immediate fear, because he came down and immediately grabbed his ankle. It's like, oh no. And of course, as a sports fan, you're just like, apocalyptic injury, always, right? You always immediately think of the worst. Guy gets hit in the hand. Oh no, broken hand. He's out for 3 months. No, he's just gonna be bruised. He's fine. So fortunately, X-rays came back negative, and Julio's day to day with a sprained ankle. So that's encouraging. So this is on that same play. Speaking of Julio's dropped ball, Yordan Alvarez tripled on that play. Because of the triple Alvarez hit for the cycle. And good for him. He homered to right field, because, of course, he did, because he's Yordan Alvarez. It's almost like death taxes and Yordan Alvarez homering is what it feels like. I'm surprised that dude doesn't hit more homers throughout the year. But if you haven't seen it going around on social media, I thought this was a pretty cool story. Amy Franz, she's also known as the Ichi Meter lady. She is a long time season ticket holder. She has been sitting down there in right field as long as I can remember going to games at Safeco Field and T-Mobile Park. Like, been there as long as I know, right? She was the one who actually retrieved Yordan Alvarez's home run ball, and she tweeted out to the Mariners. And the Astros said, "Hey, this ball means a whole lot more to him than it does to me. I would like to make sure that he gets it," which I thought was really, really cool. Somebody who is a part been a part of baseball history. She was all over TV and things like that when Ichiro was going to set the all-time hits record, between his hits in Japan and hits in Major League Baseball. Like, they were showing her at games. She went out to New York because he's playing for the Yankees, I believe, at the time, like with the whole Ichi meter, everything, like tracking all of his hits. And I'm sure she has all kinds of memorabilia, and this could have been a ball that she could have been like, no, I'm holding on to this one. But I love that she had like the wherewithal and just the awareness of it to be like, hey, you know what? This is a guy who's probably not going to get hit very many triples the rest of his career. Let's give him the ball back for his cycle. Thought it was really cool. It was really, really great. Speaking of the Astros, just a little bit, we're going to go talk about the Mariners by way of the Astros. They came storming back after being down 10 games a month ago. They took first place back by force from the Mariners. The Mariners were up 10 games. And in just 24 games, they lost it. They lost the lead. That is the fastest in Major League Baseball history. And you know what? If you're going to be the best, if you're going to be bad at something, be the best at being bad. That's kind of the mantra of the Seattle Mariners over the last, 50 years almost. We're not just going to be bad. We're going to be the best at being bad. We're going to go 20 some odd years without making the playoffs. We're going to have the longest streak. And you know what? We're going to be the last ones to get to the World Series. No, I'm not. I'm not going to go into this too much, but I'm not that salty of a Mariners fan, right? You just kind of get used to it. But let's talk about what's going on with the Mariners, because it's getting to be really interesting. So after Sunday afternoon's game, Ty Francis put on irrevocable outright waivers. This is after the Mariners won on Sunday. So what this means is the MLB teams, the 29 other teams, have 48 hours to claim Ty France. If he gets claimed, they'll have him the rest of the year and they'll pay his salary. If he doesn't get claimed, the Mariners can designate him for assignment and outright him to AAA Tacoma, or they can still leave him on the active roster. If they decide to designate him for assignment or DFA him, he has 4 years of service time, so he could straight up decline that. He can be like, "No, you guys are doing me dirty. I'm out. I'm gonna go be a free agent, and I'm gonna go play for somebody else." Um, but if he accepts the assignment, he goes and spends the rest of the year in Tacoma, but he's no longer on the 40-man roster. So if he starts raking and hitting really well, the Mariners like, let's give Ty France another chance. Then they got to make a move on the 40-man roster to get him back up to the big league level. So couple things. This is notable. Ty France is was an all-star like a couple years ago. So there's that first off. And I said last year, back when we were doing the Seattle Baseball Together podcast, I was like, I'm really concerned that we've seen the best of Ty France, and that's exactly what had happened. He got injured. There was a collision at first base again. I believe it was against the A's, and I think he hyperextended his elbow, hurt his elbow, and he missed some time for that. He hasn't been the same since. That was the end of it for him. Basically, they gave him a lot of chances. He didn't have a good year last year. He made some massive changes this offseason. He even trimmed down a little bit. I remember going to the backfield and seeing him at spring training, and like I had my mom with me, and she's like, "It's Ty France? You sure I'm positive that's Ty France? He lost some weight in the offseason. And he lost his power." So anyway, this feels like the first of a series of moves the Mariners are going to make, because you can't just let a 10-game lead disintegrate in 24 games. 24 games. 24 games. Let me say it for you one more time. 24 games. You've got to do something. And this is the frustration that I have with this team. They've been sitting here for so long, saying, "Oh, but we're in first place. All is well." No, the rest of the division was losing. You're calling the division the AL worst. Okay? You've got to take advantage, and you've got to run away with a division. You cannot win a division in April, May, or June, right? You have got to take advantage of the other teams in your division losing and make that lead as big as you can, 20, 25, 30 games if possible by the time September rolls around. Make it so you're out of reach. Do not sit on your laurels with a 10-game lead in June, because it can go away by the All-Star break. For the record, the Mariners were up 1 game going into the All-Star break. And even if it is fine, right? Even if the division is under wraps, you have a bunch of teams that aren't going to win. Make yourself better for the World Series, because you're going to go to the playoffs. You might as well be a World Series contender at that point. Make your moves. Get yourself better every single day. You know you have a weak offense. You know it is anemic. You've been talking about it since spring training, that your goal is to score 1 more run than your opponent to win games, thanks to your pitching staff. Thanks to your pitching staff, that only has to be 4 runs. So frustrating. It's so frustrating. You have a team that's the absolute worst at striking out in the entire league. They lead everybody. The top two of the top 3 guys in strikeouts in the American League are Seattle Mariners, Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez. The only thing they've done is they moved Mitch Garver from full-time DH to backup catcher to help him get off the bench and get moving around a little bit, hoping that L would get his bat going. Has it? A little bit, but not consistently. So one last thing. The Mariners traded reliever Mike Baumann to the San Francisco Giants for cash. If they don't take that cash and put it toward an impact bat and instead pocket it, I'm done with the Seattle Mariners until John Stanton sells the team. Of course, I say this, and it's not actually true. I had a friend, she texted me after the Mariners getting lost Saturday night. She's like, "It's so painful to watch." I was like, watching the Mariners makes me hate baseball. What time's the game start tomorrow? Like, it's sports, right? It breaks our heart constantly and makes us so angry that we're just, especially during baseball season, there was that meme going around at the beginning of the season that it's like, oh, you lose 1 game in the NFL season. It's like, it's 1 of 17. You lose 1 game in a 162-game season of baseball. Like, no, this team sucks. DFA everybody, right? Like, it's the overreaction in a 162-game season. Your team is going to lose 55 games. They're probably going to win 55 games. What are they going to do those other 55? That's what matters. But you've got to be trying to win as many of those other 55 as you can. You cannot rely. Yes, generational pitching. This is one of the best pitching stats we've ever seen. I know that the Braves and that the Phillies have a lower team ERA, but really, 1 through 5, you want to face that in Seattle? Most days, no, you don't. So they've got to get better. They've got to get better, and they've got to make moves. With the trade deadline looming, Jerry DiPoto said there's not really a whole lot on the market to make a move for. Like he's preparing us for well, that's why we didn't make a move. You've got to. You cannot waste this pitching because you don't know if they're going to be healthy next year. You've got to make a move. With that, let's move on to today in baseball history. Today in baseball history, July 23rd, 1890, Harry Stovey of Boston's Players League Club becomes the first major leaguer to reach 100 career home runs in 1890. I love it. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to get into the to drafting Team USA. Like I said, if baseball and big leaguers were in the Olympics this year. This is a previously recorded segment, so you will see Brig. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, baseball family. Brad was flying solo. I'm here now because this is previously recorded, and we're excited about that. One thing I wanted to tell you is this segment is very exciting. We're both very excited about it. We are both Olympics junkies. We watch the Olympics.
To be clear, you are an Olympics junkie, Brig.
I'm a junkie. Yeah.
I watch the water sports, and that's about it. And the snowboarding during the winter.
Oh, I see. Oh,
but that's about it.
Okay. So you'll be missing all of Simone Biles. You're what?
What's that? Oh, I haven't really been big into the Olympics for a while. The IOC really turns me off.
Oh, for sure. It's garbage most of the time.
Yeah, that's just the way it's always been. Or I don't want to say always has, but it has been for a while. So,
well,
but anyway,
in recent memory,
you are an Olympics junkie.
I'm a junkie. Yeah, I'm a bit of a junkie. Not a hardcore junkie, but a very earnest observer, attention payer. Okay. I'm in. If there's, if I could split screen baseball in the Olympics, that's what I'll be doing.
Are you aware of the medal count as it goes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I have A-listers that I'm just really excited to watch. I will watch everything Simone Biles does. I'll watch everything Katie Ledecky does, no matter what.
And that's I'll watch Katie Ledecky all day. I love swimming. Yeah. I don't know why. Probably because my wife was a swimmer and played water polo, so that has something to do with it. But anyway.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anyway, baseball family, what we decided to do in honor of this year's Olympics and in hopes of next year's or the next Summer Olympics, where we're hoping baseball will be a thing. They said it will be. They've got sites designated and everything already for the LA Olympics in 4 years. Anyway, in honor of all of that news, Brad and I decided we would draft what would be this year's Team USA.
Should they allow big leaguers to go?
Right. If they allowed big leaguers into the Olympics for this Olympics, which none of which is happening, but we thought it would be fun.
Just having fun.
Yeah. So each of the players that we have selected must have been born in the United States. And we're just, because it's a 2-person draft, we've just made our selections too deep. And then if I say, Brad, if we don't pick, if of the 2 we've chosen, if there's a hanging 3rd or 4th, if we don't overlap on both, then I say we announce the backup or the runner-up or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, because I'm 3 deep on a couple I went 3 deep on a couple because I had a hard time filling a couple positions. So I grabbed guys that do play the position, but it's not their primary position, right?
Right. I moved some guys around. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're on the same page here. That's good to know.
I did a little bit of that too.
Do we want to make this fair and go snake style? You, me, you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
If you promise to keep track of it, then I'll do it that way.
Well, basically, we just get to do 2 picks in a row, I think is the way that it works.
Yeah. Whoever picked last goes again. Okay. All right.
Good. All right.
Baseball family. go along with us, and in the comments, let us know who you think should be on this team. And if you're not listening from USA, we want to know who you would draft for your nation and the representation of that nation.
We see you, South Korea. We see you, South Korea. Let us know who you want on your team.
That's right.
For those of you who don't know, our show, we've been very happy about this, very excited about it. We haven't given enough attention to it. We've been a top 100 show in South Korea for like a month and a half now. And this is very exciting for us. Very exciting.
And we love the KBO. So we see you. Mm-hmm. Like Brad, that's a great way to put it. We see you. We're grateful for you. We love you just like everybody else. And we want to know who you would have on your Olympics roster if you could involve all of the KBO, all of MLB, Korean-born players. All right.
Let's get it.
Brad, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. I was going to do paper, rock, scissors to see who.
Oh, yes. First. No, that is exactly
all right. Ready? Answer. Okay, ready?
Yep. Wait. The 4 count, right? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah, on shoot. Okay, good. I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad you're a normal person, Brig, because.
Well, listen.
Why would you shoot any
I'm in a house full of 7-year-olds. I have to explain this more often than you think.
But anyway, all right, ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
5 minutes later.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, I go first.
You go first. All right.
Thank goodness. Jeez. Okay, so we're going to go catcher all the way down
We're
to
going to go
closer.
Any position, any order you want.
Oh, no. We are?
Yeah, because like if you feel like your best player is a shortstop, draft your shortstop first.
Brad.
However you want, Brig.
I didn't want to do it that way, but that's fine. You're right. We should do it that way. You're right.
Because that's how a draft works. It's like a fantasy draft.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm going to draft my center fielder, and it's going to be Aaron Judge.
Okay, I knew you would.
Yeah.
So I picked the next best guy in line that I could think of, who is American-born and who's just red hot right now, Jarren Duran.
Oh, okay. All right, I can't pick Jarren Duran later. Thanks, dude.
All right. So my next pick, I'm actually going to go with my second baseman. I'm going to go with Mookie Betts. I know he's been a shortstop this year, but I think he's a better option at second base for this team.
Okay, makes sense. Then in that case, I'm going to pick. Okay. I'm going to pick my catcher. I want JT Realmuto.
Okay. You can have him. That's fine.
You would.
Okay. Go with your next pick. Okay.
My next pick is going to be my starting pitcher, and I'm going to go with Corbin Burns.
Solid pick.
Thank you.
Okay. My shortstop will be Gunnar Henderson.
Okay.
And then my third baseman is actually going to be Bobby Witt Jr.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, you did.
You're not a very kind person. Because now I have to go looking for a shortstop. Mid-draft scramble. Thanks, Brad.
I had them 1-2 at shortstop too, but I was like, but what if my third baseman gets picked?
Yeah. Well, and I had a very similar thing going on. In that case, I'm going to go with my third baseman. Nope, my first baseman. My third baseman's going to be Alec Boehm.
Nice. Yeah, I had him on my list.
And then my first baseman's going to be Brother Harper.
Oh, man. Okay, that's fine. My first baseman, I'm going to go with Frederick Freeman.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm going to go with another outfielder. I'm going to go my left fielder is going to be Stephen Kwan.
Oh, good one. Okay, my left fielder is going to be Brent Rooker.
Dang. You took my DHs are gone now. Shoot.
Yeah. And my right fielder is going to be Kyle Tucker.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
He's got to get healthy before the Olympics.
Yeah, but think of all the postseason experience and high leverage situations. That dude knows what he's doing.
Oh, I mean, he's our favorite right fielder. Am I not?
Easily.
Am I wrong there?
No.
Him and Juan Soto have got to be the guys.
Yeah. You can't pick
All
Soto
right.
for this, but
Nope, he's Dominican. Okay. I'm gonna go with my closer. I
okay,
want Mason Miller.
you would.
And then I know what we went with. So we went with one reliever, one starter, one closer.
Yeah.
And so when I was thinking reliever, I was thinking setup man. So I'm gonna be honest with you, Brig. I cheated a little bit.
Oh, man.
But I guess he's a setup man this year. Ryan Presley is my reliever.
Ooh, okay. All right. I'm not sad about that. I did a little finagling with my pitchers too, so it's okay. My closer.
Yeah, I mean technically you could grab a closer and be like, I mean, he sets up sometimes. Or he has
Right.
set up at some point in his career, right? Even
Yeah.
a regular
Yeah,
old reliever.
exactly. Exactly right. My second baseman um is going to be Marcus Simeon. Again with the postseason experience, and his stats look
Hmm.
great this year. Dude is awesome. He knows exactly what
He
he's
was my
doing.
other second baseman.
Good leadership options in the clubhouse. It's going to be great. And then my closer is going to be Josh Hader.
Josh Hader.
Yep.
Okay. Just hope he isolates himself from the rest of the team. Um,
Well, yeah. Closers hang out by
okay.
themselves,
Oh,
Brad.
okay. I have a solution to my problem here. Okay. My
Okay.
catcher is going to be Adley Rutschman.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then my DH is actually going
Mm.
to be Cal Raleigh.
Oh.
He's been
Okay.
DHing a lot.
My DH is going to be Kyle Schwarber.
I thought you already had Brother Harper as your
No,
DH.
he's my
But you
first
have
baseman.
and then you have Rooker in the outfield. Oh, that's right. Oh my
Yep.
goodness. Because I had Harper as my DH, and then I had Rooker as my other one.
Ah, yeah. No, I moved him
That's
around.
yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
And then my setup guy, my middle relief guy, my guy that needs to maybe eat up some innings or can come in and just get us out of a jam or whatever, is going to be Garrett Crochet.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
That's some good finagling. I like
Thank
that.
you.
Okay, I have two guys left then. So I have my starting pitcher is gonna be Tyler Glasnow,
Very good. Very good choice.
and then my last outfielder is gonna be Christian Yelich.
Bro, he was my backup DH.
Yeah,
What a
he. I
terrific
mean,
choice.
he's come back. He's found his way back, and he's done the whole international baseball thing before. So I love it.
Exactly.
Although you think about it though, like you look at a lot of these guys, like especially the stars, you look at their baseball reference profiles. A
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
them played international baseball at some point growing up. They played for
They
some
did.
version of Team USA, which I think is crazy. Like,
I
could you imagine
I do
being
too.
like 14 and like, well, we got to go play Puerto Rico in Florida next week? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Keep
That'd be amazing.
filibustering because I have to get a third baseman on here.
You
I
still
got it.
need a third baseman? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Are you done with you got your
This is
roster
I got to
lined up?
double check, but I'm pretty sure that my whole team is all set now. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
think you
good.
are. Okay.
Yep.
No, I mean I need a shortstop, not a third baseman. What am I doing?
Okay.
Shortstop.
Well, I mean, a lot of times they're interchangeable. So,
Not
oh yeah,
every
because
time,
I
but
took
yeah.
I took Witt and Anderson. I took the two best
You took
guys.
Witt and Henderson. You
Yeah,
dirty,
dude.
dirty, dirty,
You know
dirty.
that's right.
And you took Mookie Betts. So
You're right. I did.
yeah, you did.
I
It's a
you can just
great
call
lineup.
this Team USA Padres because we're trotting out a whole bunch of shortstops so we can beat our international competition with athleticism
That's not a bad
and
choice. Let's be
and
honest.
defensive ability. Even though these
Um,
guys like legitimately are some of the best hitters in the league right now.
no, they really are. Okay, my shortstop, given what's left and the restrictions required by this experiment that we're doing, is not an easy one. It's not easy.
No, it's not. It's really tough.
Yeah, I got to go with a guy with a lot of postseason experience. He's got a good average this year. His OPS is over 1. and it's going to be Trey Turner. Good speed on the base paths. He's going to steal you a bag. Trey
And you know what he's
Turner.
going to do? You know what he's going to do for you too?
What?
He's going to play out of his mind.
Oh yeah, dude loves the pressure, man. He's so good.
Well, especially international. Like, do you remember the WBC when we were like,
bro,
who is this guy and where did he come from?
Do I remember the WBC?
My goodness.
I was there, bro. I was there.
You literally were there. That's true.
Okay.
100%.
So this was really quick. So run through your lineup really quick and justify some of them as needed.
Okay, so Tyler Glasnow, I don't feel like I need to justify him so much. He's my starting pitcher. He's a front runner for the Cy Young in the National League, I feel like, and rightfully so. He's just got to make sure that he comes back healthy after the break when it's his turn to pitch. Ryan Presley, longtime closer, has been put into the setup role with the Astros, and after a rough start this year, has gotten back to being very, very, very good, like we've known. Closer, there is no closer in baseball right now who's hotter than Mason Miller.
It's true.
So I feel like that is fully justified. Adley Rutschman. I know that Gunnar Henderson is your MVP this year, but the immediate turnaround, the switch that was flipped with the Orioles the day Adley Rutschman was called up was insane.
Unbelievable.
I mean, is he Captain America? Is he Captain America on this team? He might just be.
He might be. Yeah, he might be.
Like, really. So I'm going to go Freddie Freeman at first base because you've got a lot of power other places in this lineup. And Freddie can hit for power, but he also hits big time for average, right?
He does, yes.
So get him on base and everybody else will drive him in. Same thing with Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts, I feel like, is a natural second baseman. He's better there defensively, especially when you have guys like Gunnar Henderson and Bobby Witt who can slot in there if needed. So I want Mookie Betts at second base, especially as he slows down a touch as he's aging. Bobby Witt Jr., what do you do with a shortstop who's been slotted out of his position? You move him to third base. Ask A-Rod. It works.
It's the only answer.
And he's played there more too, so it works out to put him at third base because then you've got Gunnar Henderson. You're super strong up the middle. Can you imagine any team with Gunnar Henderson, Mookie Betts at the middle? Holy smokes!
No.
Sign me up for
not with Bobby Witt in the corner. Like, come on,
man. Yeah. You're unstoppable. And then your outfield, I've got Jarren Duran anchoring, holding everything down in center field. He's the fastest guy out there. He's the best defensively. Steven Kwan is your left fielder. Pretty typical. That's another great bat for you as well. Christian Yelich in right field. I think he's been playing a lot of left field for the Brewers.
Yeah.
I'm going to double check that real quick.
Double check. But he kind of platoons around the outfield a little bit over the last few years.
So they have him. So he's listed like as a left fielder on Baseball Reference. He has not played anything. Like, he's DH'd and played left field this year. He hasn't played right field since 2021, and it was like very, very little. So, so he's a left fielder. But I think as he ages, I think they'll move him around to right field more. Which it's an adjustment because you have to adjust to the way the ball comes off the right-handed bat compared to the left-handed bat, things like that. But anyway, I think it'll work for him, and I think that's a great spot for him, especially with Kwan and Duran holding down their positions. And then Cal Raleigh is a power-hitting catcher from both sides, just like Adley Rutschman from both sides, who can DH. He strikes out a lot, but if he's not striking out, he's crushing 400-foot bombs for you and coming in the clutch. So Adley Rutschman needs a day off, slot Cal Raleigh in there, and swap him around, put Adley Rutschman at the DH. So that's why I've got Raleigh there at that last spot. So I'll go run through yours real quick, Brig.
All right. My catcher's JT Realmuto, and I want to talk about him a little bit. The guy has postseason experience, and the thing about JT Realmuto's postseason experience is that it doesn't fall off dramatically from the regular season. He is consistent through the regular season. His postseason numbers look very, very similar. So, for example, 2023, he hit 265 average, and his OPS was 825. This year already, he's at 262, and his OPS is at 722. So I want a guy who's consistent. Also, we know he's one of the best defensive catchers in the game. You're not going to have any problems there.
But we are assuming everybody's healthy at this time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Everybody's healthy. Brother Harper makes a ton of sense. I don't think I have to justify Brother Harper. Marcus Semien is really interesting. I came with Marcus Semien because of his postseason experience. Also, he's just plain solid. Like, let's be honest. But he's another guy that's average. He's a small ball hitter. He's not going to drive in a ton of home runs, but when he needs to, he can. So I want a guy who's excellent defensively and will still get on base. His on base percentage is at 704 right now, and I think for a second baseman, that's all you can ask for. That is plenty.
What's his OPS? His OPS is 706.
Oh, sorry, his OPS.
On base
his
is
OBP 314.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing about
Anyways.
Semien is he's going to play because that dude plays every single day.
Yeah, you're not worried about him at all. Alec Boehm, terrific. And I'll get into some other things in the back at the end. I got some other things I want to do with this. But Trey Turner, we already talked about. Brent Rooker, what's interesting about Brent Rooker is that he can swap in as a DH and he can spell a guy here and there. But he's always going to be a defensive powerhouse. You're not going to have to worry about him defensively. And because I'm a Yankees fan, I worry about left field often over the last handful of years. Verdugo's doing well. So when I was putting this together, I needed a guy who's defensively solid in left field. And then we know Brent Rooker can hit for power. And that's what I want out of my outfield. Aaron Judge, exactly the same thing. Clutch, capable, just totally solid. Kyle Tucker, best right fielder in baseball. I don't think that's any question. I don't think it's been a question for the last couple of years.
As a Yankee fan, you're saying he's the best right fielder in baseball.
He's one of them. If he's not the best, he's one of them.
I was going to say, because you got Juan Soto in your right field, sir.
Right. Okay. He's the best U.S.-born right fielder in baseball.
You worry me, Brig. It's like, whoa.
Yeah. No. Yeah, but until, yeah. I still think he gives Juan Soto a run for his money, especially, if not this year, then the last couple. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Schwarbaum, dude, Kyle Schwarber, he knows how to play postseason baseball. I don't care what's going on in the regular season. When the stakes are high, Kyle Schwarber's going to come through for you, and he's going to be a solid rock. He's also fun, and so he'll lighten up the clubhouse in tough situations, and you don't have to have him in left field if you don't want to, but you can. If you need to do some defensive finagling, he's not horrible in the outfield, right? Okay, Corbin Burnes is the one I'm really excited to talk about. Corbin Burnes has pitched 8 postseason games, right? So I'm thinking high leverage situations. So I looked at guys with postseason experience. As you can see on my list, there's a ton of postseason experience, which is why I didn't go with some other guys that might have made a lot more sense. But Corbin Burnes has a whip under 1. He's at 0.89 across his postseason experience, which is just terrific. His ERA in the postseason is 2.84. What?
How many games has he pitched in the postseason?
8.
That's a good sample size.
It's a good sample size. Yep. 19 innings total. Yeah. He had 6 games in 2018 was the most, obviously. 6 games 2018. 2.00 ERA, a 0.56 whip, and 9 innings pitched in those games. So the only problem with Corbin Burnes in the postseason following the 2018 campaign is that he simply hasn't had enough opportunities. That's the only thing. So if you look at his numbers and you're like, what's that 9 ERA in 1 game in 2023? Get out of here. He's not that guy right now. He's not. And that was a fluke one-off. Mm-hmm. So Crochet's easy. He just move him from a starting position to a setup, long relief. And then Josh Hader. Lots of postseason experience, knows what he's doing. Just going to shut it down.
Yeah. Better be meaningful games or he's not going to want in them, though.
Exactly. Right. And on this stage,
how do you think he feels about the round robin portion of the tournament? Is he like, we're moving on anyway, you don't need me out there? Is that the kind of attitude he brings to that team?
I could see him doing that, which is why you got Crochet, a guy like Crochet in there to eat up a lot of innings and make it not a big deal.
Crochet go out there, get a 6-out save. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would just be
Okay.
so weird.
Question for you, Brad.
Okay.
Who are the guys we didn't talk about that were on your list, scattered onesie twosie? Do you
I went
have
through and
anybody that
deleted them
fits
all.
that
Let me
category?
give me just a second to get back. So I
Oh,
had
you
Jordan
deleted them.
Westberg was another third baseman I had.
Yeah.
And he was an all-star this year, and he's been great. I mean, obviously all those guys on the Orioles have been outstanding. Bryce Reynolds is another outfielder I had. I had him like 5 deep. I was initially going to go with Logan Gilbert as one of my pitchers, but I was like, that is such a homer pick. He's been the best in Seattle, which is one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. But there are individual guys who are better. So that's why I went with Glasnow instead of Gilbert. Paul Sewald I went with as one of my relievers, because I feel like, so this is one of the things with Paul Sewald that's really interesting is they always talk about how he doesn't throw hard. He's like 91, 92, right?
Sure.
But there's something about his pitch, his fastball, that you can't see it. So guys can't hit it. That he'll go through like a spell where it's like, oh, everybody sees it all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden they don't see it anymore. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if he's going up against a bunch of guys who have not seen his fastball before and are like, you literally cannot see that ball, then he's going to be fine for 5 games, right?
Yeah.
One of my other closers was Pete Fairbanks.
Ooh, interesting.
With the Rays. So there were a couple reasons. Pete Fairbanks is really good, first off. And second, have you listened to his post-game interviews?
No.
Hilarious. That dude is so funny, so snarky, so sarcastic, and so funny. I was like, if you're going to have a clubhouse guy, it's going to be him. He's got a great personality for every clubhouse. So I'd probably bring him in as part of the bullpen.
Yeah.
I also had Pete Alonso as a first baseman, because I think he's obviously an excellent option as well. And then that's really it out of anybody who wasn't picked. Who else did you have?
So my backup catcher option was William Contreras. And you know how much we love him.
We do love him.
Yeah. So you should look up his stats really quick because they are
I'm headed to look up William Contreras right now because there might be a problem with that pick break.
Oh, why?
Because he's Venezuelan.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, then he's not on my list.
Yeah.
Negative Ghost Rider.
I'm pretty sure he's not American-born.
Thank you. Jonathan India was a backup second baseman I toyed with for a long time. The only reason
you could put him anywhere.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. Keep that thought in mind. The only reason I didn't go with Jonathan India is because he doesn't have postseason experience, and I really wanted that on this roster. I don't think it's the end-all be-all decision maker, but against Marcus Semien, I thought, all things being equal, give me Jonathan India, or give me Marcus Semien.
Semien's got that Iron Man thing going for him too.
For sure. Another one that's really interesting is IKF. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Okay,
super utility. We should have drafted a utility guy.
Super utility player. Right now, they've got him playing third base in Toronto. He has postseason experience, and again, his postseason experience is consistent with his regular season experience. So his stats line up 1-to-1. It's very cool. But listen to his stats this year in Toronto. Okay, over 82 games. He has had 257 at-bats, right? He's hitting 292, 338, 420. His OPS is 758. His overall WAR already right now is 3.1, according to Baseball Reference. And we know, he's capable defender. He'll make an error every now and then. Everybody knows that, and that's fine. But he's very capable. So it's pretty cool. I was pretty excited about it. Before we're done, Brad, can we do a quick, I know we want to go, but let me do one more thing I have in mind. Is that okay?
You're good. Go ahead. Yeah, you're good.
Who's your catcher?
Adley Rutschman is my starting catcher.
Would you take Rutschman over Real Muto in this situation?
Honestly, I might, just because of his age.
Okay.
Make it. I would probably go primarily with a youth movement on this team because like that's kind of what I did. But
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I went the opposite. That's interesting.
yeah, you did. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do this for every position. Let's go head to
Okay.
head. Bryce Harper or Freddie Freeman?
Harper.
Yeah. Who's your second baseman again?
Mookie Betts.
Over Simeon?
Yeah, I go with Betts.
Easy. Same.
Yeah.
Alec Boehm for third base. Who's yours?
Bobby Witt.
Ugh,
I
what
don't
are you
know.
going to do
I
there?
might go Bohm just because it's his natural position. He plays there every day, and Bobby
Yeah.
Witt Jr. does not. I know I took Witt over Bohm, but still.
So that's why this is interesting. Now we clear the board, and now we get to choose.
Yeah.
If we were building it together now, who would we put on there?
Yeah.
Shortstop?
Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah, I would go with him over Trey Turner. Left fielder. I have Brent Rooker.
I have Steven Kwan. Honestly,
That's a
I'd
tough
take Kwan. I'd take Kwan.
I-
So this is something interesting that I noticed the other day. So a
Okay.
lot of Mariners fans are like, trade for Brent Rooker, trade for Brent Rooker. And I'm like, okay, I love Brent Rooker. He's fantastic. Like he's really
Yeah.
great. But I'm like, you get so aggravated over strikeouts, folks. Guess what? Cal
Yeah.
Raleigh is number one. Guess who's number two in the American League in strikeouts? Brent Rooker.
Brent Rooker.
Raleigh's got 118, Rooker's got 113. So it's just going to be more strikeouts added to that lineup. He gets on base more, but still, you're going to be aggravated with those strikeouts. And that was a big turnoff for me because Kwan doesn't strike out.
Right. Now, Stephen Kwan or Jarren Duran?
Ooh.
Right?
I would probably still go Kwan just because
Okay.
he's been more steady through the course of his career, right?
Yeah, well,
Because
the
obviously
course
we're
of-
going to take Judge in center field.
Yeah, take Judge at center field. And then who I also could consider Byron Buxton there for a minute, by the way. Right fielder, I've got Kyle Tucker, and you have?
Christian Yelich, but I'd take Tucker.
Yeah, I would
More
too.
steady.
Kyle Schwarber at DH. Who's your DH again?
Cal Raleigh, but I'd probably take Schwarber just because of experience
Okay.
and consistency.
Starting pitcher, we don't have to choose between because guess what? They're going to have more than
We
one.
can use them. Yeah.
So
Same deal
for my
relievers.
relief pitchers, I toyed between David Robinson and Ryan Helsley as well. Those are the other two names I came up with.
Those are good. Those are really good.
And then my closer is Josh Hader. Who's your closer again?
Mason Miller.
Whoa, we did the same thing, opposites.
Yeah. What
Who
if
would you go with?
let's put Mason Miller in as the setup guy and Hader as the closer.
There you go.
So
I
you're
like it.
facing 104 and then 101 from the other side of the plate.
That's perfect. Now you're cooked. Baseball family,
so
we hope
scary.
you enjoyed this little experimentation that we did. We sure had a lot of fun putting it together. Again, let us know in the comments what you think, who you would draft if you were drafting the team to represent your country, whatever that is, and drop it in the comments. Just go down the line, boom, all the way down. We want to talk about it with you, and we can put it up on the YouTube machine, which is the best place to find us. But there are other places to find us. We are on Threads now. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, obviously, and YouTube is the place where we do most of our work. But I guess we're on Twitter too. Anyway, the point is we're all over the place, and we're doing a giveaway. Okay, we're doing a giveaway, and we will be giving away a copy of A Baseball Guy Gene, Chasing a Dream to Japan and Back by Aaron Fishman, friend of the show. Terrific interview with Aaron. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. And get ready for the follow-up with Tony Barnett. He is the subject of this book. You can get your very own copy by liking the post we're going to put on Instagram.
Follow us.
Follow the
tag
show.
2 friends.
And tag 2 friends. There you go.
And the instructions will be on the post as well, in case you didn't catch that.
Yeah, they will. So that will be on Instagram. You have to do it on Instagram. It's great. But while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe to our show on YouTube. Rate and review it anywhere you're able to. That helps us more than you think. Share us with a friend you think might enjoy what we got going on, because we got it going on, man. This is so much fun for us. We hope it's so much fun for you. And with that, baseball family, we will catch you next week.